What is going on, guys? Dippin back. Before we start working on the 1965, it is official. I've been living here in Alabama for 6 months now, and I finally went ahead and got my license. I went ahead and switched it over from California to Alabama, and then yesterday I finally registered my truck in Alabama. And I was waiting for these tags to expire. They expired yesterday, so yeah, we finally got our Alabama tag. And what is crazy to me, I knew it was going to be a little bit lower, but I have my registration form from California to re-register this truck, and it was like $400 and something for 1 year to register my truck. And I paid $51 for a year for here in Alabama. That's man, this is crazy. So let's go ahead and swap over this license plate to the new Alabama license plate so I don't get pulled over for having expired tags. Man, I don't want to come off with a drill. Almost 4.5 years of having this license plate on there. Finally moving it over after 6 months living here. Got one more to do. Take that out. Now officially this truck has no more ties to California. I'm waiting on my title to come in, my Alabama title for this truck. So like I said before, we work on the 1965. We're gonna go down to the courthouse and I'm gonna pick myself up a concealed carry permit, an application actually, because they hand them out like candy here, and I don't live in California anymore, so let's go. Well guys, have I ever mentioned that I love living here in Alabama? So yesterday I went ahead and got my pistol permit. Literally took 5-10 minutes, and I got my permit in my hand, plastic card, official and everything. So now I'm legal to conceal carry. California would have took like 3 months to apply for a pistol permit, and you are not guaranteed to get that permit. Alabama, you go to the courthouse and you walk out with a pistol permit in 10 minutes. So after I left the courthouse, I had to go buy a new gun. So my new concealed carry, 10 minutes in and out, get a new gun. California, you gotta wait 10 days to even pick up a gun. Any type of gun, pistol, shotgun, rifle. And yeah, so I walked out, 20 minutes total actual time. Like if I go get my pistol permit, go right to a gun store, get a gun, total time was like 20 minutes. Not driving or anything, but like inside the gun store 10 minutes, inside the courthouse 10 minutes, 20 minutes I'm in and out with a concealed carry and a pistol. So I'm really excited about that. But let's go ahead and start working on the 1965 Dodge D500. So I made a little mistake the other day. One of you guys mentioned, actually a lot of you guys mentioned different things that could possibly be wrong with this truck, referring to the clicking noise, the you guys heard it on the video. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, go to the last video and you guys will see. But I had a lot of comments. A lot of you guys were saying it could be the timing, it could be the carburetor needs to be adjusted. I'm getting some backfire, so I think it's running a little bit rich. I turned down the idle screws just for now, so it's not just backfiring. Inside the top of this air cleaner, on the inside, it's really black. So yeah, it's backfiring a lot. You can see on this rod right here, it's even black. So that's not good. We got to fix that backfiring issue. You can see that. A lot of backfiring. I'm surprised that this filter didn't catch on fire or whatnot. But yeah, we have to fix that backfiring issue. I think it's doing a little bit less now that I just turned those idle screws down. I saw one comment mentioning that it could be my plug wires are messed up and it's not, you know, firing right. So the other night I went ahead, not even marking these wires, I just went ahead and pulled them all out. And then I looked at a diagram. The firing order for this truck I think is 18346, 1834652. I don't know, something like that. I'll put it up on the screen if you guys want to know. So I went ahead and then just matched the wires up. This is not the order that they're supposed to go in. I have a picture on my phone that I found before I started doing all this stuff. I found the order of the wires, so I'm gonna go ahead and change that real quick to let you guys know that I'm not bullshitting. With these wires set up like this, we'll go ahead and try to start this thing, and it will not start. It just like keeps backfiring, or it doesn't start at all. So you know I'm not bullshitting. This is straight, no cuts in this clip. Flip the on switch. So it's not starting up because those wires are not in the respective spots on the distributor. And so we're gonna fix that. Another thing that someone mentioned is that since my water pump is flinging water, it's not the gasket, it's actually like where the bearing is. That is leaking. So someone mentioned that water could be flinging up and it's arcing the plug wires, and that's what's making it kind of, no, not jolt, but like stutter for a second. And like for a split second it stops giving power, and then it goes, and then it does that a whole bunch. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these plug wires back in the order that they're supposed to be in, and then we'll go ahead and see if this truck will start up. And like I said, I actually turned the screws back up because it wasn't starting before, so I thought it just wasn't getting enough fuel. So we may have to turn those back down. I know you're not supposed to really tune the carburetor unless you do the timing first. I don't have a timing light, so we're not gonna be able to do that today. But I do want to get that carburetor down so it stops backfiring inside the air filter, because that's getting all sooted up. But yeah, let's go ahead, change these plug wires, and see if this truck will start again. The firing order is 1843652. So it goes, you know, 1843652. So I'm just switching the wires around real quick, making sure they're all in order. So we got 4, 3, 6, that's right. 5 is gonna be this one. So I need to switch this. 5, 7 is this one. I'm hoping this will start the truck up again. 2, 1, 8. So that's where it was on my picture. That's how it was. And let's make sure. I'll start with 1. So we got 1, 8, 4, 3, 6, 5, 7, 2. No, that's 4. Oh, so that's gonna be 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, that's right. 4. No, that is 2. All right, I must have messed up on this. I was inside and I thought that, because there's some right here, there's 2 plug wires, and they have boots like that compared to all the other ones that are just the round boots. You would think it would be 4, 3, 6, and that's like that. But this one's going to the second cylinder and not the fourth cylinder. So if that was going to the fourth cylinder, it would be, you know, 2, 1, 8. But this is going to the sixth cylinder and not the 8th. So maybe I messed the plug wires up when I was cleaning them, but I'm gonna go ahead and go by this. I don't know, maybe I'll go with this first. I don't know, I'm gonna figure it out, and hopefully I can get this truck running again, because I go by the firing order, I put in order, and it doesn't work, doesn't even crank up. So I'm gonna mess with this some more, and I'll come back when I try to start it back up. So I was thinking about it again. I looked at the picture again, I looked at the plug wires, and I made a decision. I think I might have switched the plug wires at the spark plug. So I went ahead and switched the second and fourth wire at the spark plug. So my diagram on my picture matches up with everything that's on that rotor cap, and hopefully it will start up. It might backfire because I did turn those idle screws back up, but for the most part, I'm just hoping that it's gonna start up. So I'll give it a little juice. It might be flooded too, but came out here the other night trying to get it to start, and it didn't start up. So we'll go ahead and give it a shot, and hopefully this thing will crank up. Look at that. God dang. Ah, did you guys see that? But yeah, she cranked right up. Man, that water pump is freaking bad, man. So if you guys are new to the channel, I mentioned it before in a video about the water pump. It does need to be replaced. The only reason why I haven't bought a new water pump for this thing is because most 361s, this is a 361 big block Mopar, and most of them nowadays 4-bolt water pumps. This one, unfortunately, is a 5-bolt. So as you can see, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a bolt on the bottom. And this one actually has a grease port, which I think if this was actually greased regularly when this truck was in use, it might have saved the water pump, but it sat for 17 years. And, you know, things happen, water pumps go bad. And this thing is leaking, I think, by the bearing. And it's shooting water. You can see it shot water all right here, shot water, or coolant, I should say. Shot coolant all there, was shooting coolant up here. And the coolant is actually pretty low, so I'm gonna have to add a little bit more in there. But yeah, like I said, the 5-bolt water pumps are super hard to find, and if you do find one, you're gonna be paying top dollar, like $300 for a water pump, even more than that, just for the water pump. You can buy a water pump and housing. The housing bolts to the heads. You can buy a whole water pump and housing for less than $300. I just don't know if the newer style 361 water pumps are gonna, water pump housings are gonna fit this motor. Let me know in the comments below if you think it will fit. Most of these parts are universal. Like this intake manifold wasn't designed in 1965. I went ahead and bought an intake manifold for 361 and it matched up. So there's a whole bunch of different water pumps on the market nowadays. You know, even different brands with different models. So I'm not sure which one to buy. If you guys want to look it up, this is a 1965 Dodge D500 with a 361 big block. If you guys have a suggestion on which one to buy, a part number or whatever, leave it in the comments below. It'd be greatly appreciated. I can call Jegs and have them look it up for me and see if it'll fit. But if I am gonna get a new water pump, I probably will replace the whole water pump housing and water pump, just so my camera just decided to stop recording. I guess the memory card was full. But to sum up the engine bay conversation, 5-bolt water pumps are really hard to find. If you guys want to leave a comment below on a part number or whatever for this 1965 Dodge D500 with a 361 for the pump and the housing. If I'm gonna replace the pump, might as well replace the whole housing. So leave in the comments below. And yeah, that's it for the engine bay. But I was saying before I stopped recording that I'm gonna drive this truck over to Caleb's house. I'm gonna help him some of the day. He's got to get stuff ready for his concrete to be poured. He got to run the plumbing, the electrical conduit and stuff like that, drains and everything. But we're gonna drive this truck over there and break these lug nuts loose, because as you guys know, I haven't even touched the back yet because I can't get them off. I don't have an air compressor. So we're gonna go ahead, drive this over there, use his air compressor and try to break these back ones loose so we can finally start working on the brakes. I got the fronts done, just haven't got the backs done yet. And we'll be able to take the wheels off, take the hubs off. Probably not in this video, but we will break them loose in this video. We'll be able to look at the wheel cylinders. I'm sure that they're gummed up, stuck, and there's 2 per side, so I'm gonna need 4 in total. I can order those off Rock Auto, no problem. But yeah, we'll finally be able to get to these back brakes. I am gonna have to get a new master cylinder for the brake pedal and a new clutch cylinder for the clutch, because you guys know that the clutch is really sticky. But as you can see on the floorboard, it's all wet, and that is from brake fluid leaking out of the master cylinder. So when I'm on Rock Auto, I buy a new master cylinder, new clutch cylinder, and some wheel cylinders. Everything needs to be changed out. But yeah, let's wait for Caleb to message me. I told him I'll be up at like 8 o'clock. I was actually up at 6:30 this morning, but he should be up and at 'em soon, and we'll drive over there and work on these back wheels, trying to get them off. So I'm driving on the dirt road this time instead of taking the regular road to Caleb's house, only because if those plug wires, if any of them were messed up, I don't want to be misfiring and not being able to drive on a main road. I don't want to be stuck on the side of the road. So I decided to take the dirt road, and since I turned those idle screws down on the carburetor, I started the truck up, raised them up a little bit just to hear the idle, and then I backed them down quite a bit, and it hasn't did that little stutter click noise that you guys saw in last video. Cross our fingers, I am in 5 high right now, and it hasn't done it. It was doing it in pretty much almost every single gear last time. So, no, cross our fingers. I'm hoping that it was just running too lean, and you know, it was backfiring. I haven't heard a backfire yet. God dang, this road's still bumpy. You guys remember right here, it's where those cows jumped out in front of us, and if we didn't have brakes, we would have hit them. But so far the truck, God dang. So far the truck is running pretty good. I won't know for sure unless I get up to like 50 miles an hour, because usually it'll do it around 50 miles an hour, and I've probably only gotten up to like 35 max. It's just this road is so bumpy, I can't go fast at all. But we're going to Caleb's house right now, and we're gonna work on his draining, the electrical conduit, and stuff like that, and then we'll go ahead and hop back on the truck. Maybe I'll let him take a test drive and drive this truck for the first time, and see how he does shifting this old truck. And yeah, so stay tuned, and we'll be at his house soon. Man, let me tell you what, this thing drove actually pretty dang good. It did not buckle, choke, stutter once. That whole drive, it didn't do it. As soon as I went on the main road, I figured when I'm gonna get up to speed, you know, 45, 50 miles an hour, it's gonna start doing it. Didn't do it at all. So I think lowering the idle on the carburetor did it. I do still have to check the timing and make sure all the timing's right and everything like that. But just lowering that, tractors and shit driving by. But just lowering those idle screws seemed to help a lot. But yeah, we're at Caleb's house right now, and concrete guys are already here. So we gotta go. So we have to head back there and start digging trenches for some lines, and we gotta get to work. So we'll pick this video up here in a couple hours, and so stay tuned. All right guys, so yesterday didn't really go as planned. We spent all day just basically running around. We didn't really get much done yesterday. We got Fat Tony started up, which is good, but that's basically the only thing we did yesterday. You know, we did some stuff for Caleb's concrete pad that's gonna get poured in a couple of days. We put the drains and stuff like that. But as far as getting to work on my 1965 Frank, we didn't really get to it. But today I just took it for a drive, and like I said at the beginning of this video, this water pump definitely needs to be changed. I took it for a drive. I went to the store, and obviously I knew that it was low on coolant just because it's leaking out everywhere. You can see it's leaking out everywhere, and it was getting really hot. I pulled up to the store and the engine was smoking. You know, the coolant gauge didn't go all the way to hot, it stayed in the middle, but it was getting hot. So I went in the store, got a gallon of water. I got 2 gallons actually, and I put one in the toolbox just in case, as emergency only. But right now, until I get a new water pump, I'm gonna have to fill this thing up every single day. Most of that water is just me adding water from the hose, but as you can see, it got really foamy, and that is just because the coolant was low, circulation got air in it, and it made it foamy like that. I don't think I have a head gasket leak. We've already talked about that. I think it's just because it's low, but I did add some more water. It is foamy just because it was low on coolant. Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to get a new water pump and water pump housing just because I can't find the 5 bolts anymore. I know I said this before, but leave your comments below of what type of water pump this would be, or what water pump housing would be. If you guys have a part number or something, it's a 1965 Dodge D500 with a 361. So, you know, that's gonna be it for the video. Like I said, it didn't really go as planned yesterday, but this weekend we're hoping to do some stuff to this thing. Hopefully build a new back rack. I think we're gonna bore scope my cylinders, so that's gonna be interesting to see what my cylinders look like. But I did lower the fuel idle mixer screws. I think that clicking noise was just it backfiring, and you guys saw that on the air intake. I tightened those screws up and it hasn't done it since. So I drove, you know, to Caleb's house yesterday, didn't do it. Drove to the store today, didn't do it at all. So truck's running good. It is smoking a little bit. I noticed as I was, you know, driving, I looked behind me and I see a bunch of smoke, a bunch of haze. So we got to figure out what that is. Like I said, that's gonna be it for the video. Thank you guys for watching. Leave any suggestions down below of whatever I talked about. I'm not sure, this video was over like 3 days. So if you guys are new, hit that subscribe button. Keep watching this build series. I'm looking for another build to start so I can do, you know, piggyback off of each one and do one build one day, do another build one day, so it keeps up the content. But yeah, catch you guys in the next one. Dippin' Diesel out.